All right. Well, you know what? There's a game coming up on Thursday night, Dave Richard. San Francisco is at the Rams. Couple of good defenses so far. Both defenses are top 8 in yards per play. However, Niners have played only one game without Bosa, so we don't exactly know how good they'll be. Jamie, what's your feel for this game? Is it going to be a good one for fantasy? Going to be a mediocre, bad one? What do you think?
It could be awful if it's Mac Jones, Demarcus Robinson, and Kendrick Bourne as the quarterback and top receivers for San Francisco. So, I mean, McCaffrey better be ready to do a lot of work because it's going to be a lot of attention for him, understandably so. I mean, it'll be that way anyway, but it's just feels like it could be an absolute disaster for San Francisco if that's what they're talking about. And Mac Jones is not 100% either, so he's dealing with a knee injury. So
I think he's actually off the injury report.
Yeah, but I mean,
okay,
he's practicing. I don't know how healthy he is. Put it that way. You know who to start for the Rams. The real question, I think, is can Stafford have a good game? And he's now multiple touchdown passes in 3 straight games. 2 of those games, he's at 298 passing yards or more. He's coming off a 375 in 3 game. You mentioned it. I don't know which San Francisco's defense is going to look like because we saw one game against the Jaguars who don't throw the ball as much as potentially the Rams might in this matchup. And clearly Puka and Devontae Adams should be able to have their way with the secondary, depending on how much Stafford throws. So I think Stafford's a low-end starter. The only real name of prominence that I would start him over, though, is probably Bo Nix. It's one of those weeks where there's a lot of good quarterbacks and with the 4 teams on a bye. So he's not like in my opinion, like a slam dunk must start quarterback, but there is a chance for him to, I think, be in that 22 to 24 point range. So Kyren should do well after what ETN just did to this defense. Like San Francisco defense right now is just struggling. So I think it's, start the Rams usually start. Stafford, borderline starter. McCaffrey's the only one I would trust. If we get Pearsall and Jennings playing, then you got to be a little concerned, like how healthy they are. So at best would be low end number 2 receivers.
So let's, yeah. Go ahead.
This is like almost impossible to talk about the 49ers right now because Purdy, Pearsall, Jennings have not practiced all week. Any one of the 3 or all 3 could play. They're not been ruled out also. And so, like, if all 3 of those guys play, you feel a lot different about the 49ers than you do if none of them do.
Absolutely. So let's come back to the Niners and stick with the Rams. Would you start Matthew Stafford? And the Niners have been 4th best in yards per attempt allowed, 5th best in fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks. But again, no Bosa. Would you start Stafford or Dak Prescott at the Jets?
Dak.
I've got Stafford right now. I will also lower the Rams pass rate if the 49ers don't have 3/4 of their good offensive fantasy players.
Okay, Stafford versus, I think the answer was clear for Jamie, but all of the streaming guys like Tua at Carolina or Bryce Young in that matchup, or Dart versus Rattler, or any other, or Darnold.
I'll take the streamers.
I'll take Stafford.
You'll take all this. You're not high on
all
Stafford.
of them. No. 8 career games against the 49ers. He's had 20-plus fantasy points twice. Only once has he had more than 27 pass attempts and 20-plus fantasy points. It's a great matchup. It's also one where I think we'll see the Rams run the ball a lot. And so I think that Puka and Devontae will get their catches. And maybe I'm a little too low because I don't disagree with Jamie saying that Stafford's a high-end number 2 QB. But I think he's got the same type of upside as a lot of these other streaming quarterbacks, which is living around the 18 to 21 point range.
Okay. So Heath's the highest, Jamie's in the middle, Dave's the lowest on Matthew Stafford. Kyren Williams is RB16 overall right now. He's not getting as many carries. He's on pace for 289 carries. Last year, he was on pace for 336 carries, but the yards per carry is up to 4.5, which is good, but the touchdowns are down. So should people still treat him as a must start, even though he's RB16 so far, Kyren?
They should this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any like Javonte Williams or Kyren Williams? Who would you go with?
Javonte against the Jets.
And Javante's top 5 this week, so
I currently have Kyren higher.
Okay. Scadaboo at the Saints or Kyren?
I don't know if I can keep it that way, but I currently have Kyren higher.
Kyren.
Over Scadaboo for sure.
I'll probably move Kyren over Scadaboo. I was shocked that the Giants are underdogs to the Saints.
Oh, we're winning. We're going to win. It's going to be great. We're not going to trade for Tyreek Hill anymore. That was my plan. Start both wide receivers. At this point, where do you have Devontae Adams?
Top 15.
Start him.
Okay. Hasn't been a great matchup so far. They've held Marvin Harrison Jr., Olave, and Brian Thomas Jr. to fewer than 12 points, but Marvin Harrison Jr. could have had a massive game. He had 2 big drops. Sit the Rams tight ends. Let's go to the 49ers. If Brock Purdy plays, he would be what?
Behind the streamers.
Who else is playing besides Brock Purdy?
Right.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's easy to sit Purdy if he doesn't have his full complement. But let's say the best case scenario is they all play. I really don't think that's going to happen. But Purdy, Pearsall, Jennings all play. Then what?
I'm starting Brock Purdy.
I like Purdy better than Stafford for sure.
I'd start Stafford over Purdy. I'd start Tua over Purdy. He's clearly dealing with something, and his receivers are dealing with something. Like, how can you expect them to finish the game?
Yeah, and even if he does finish,
did he finish last week's game?
He finished last week's game, but he's worse now than he was. But he also didn't. I think he was asked about whether or not the toe altered his mechanics because he was not good. He was missing high a lot.
Yep.
And he didn't say yes, but he also didn't say no. He's like, maybe. I think he said maybe I have to look at it or something. So he just wasn't good last week.
But his not good. Like the interceptions have been bad, but he's still averaging 8 yards per attempt. And now he's throwing 35. He was 8.1 last week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And now he's throwing 35 plus times a game because they can't run the ball efficiently. So he's played 2 games. He's thrown for 277 yards and 309 yards, and he has 2 touchdowns in both.
They're 9th in pass rate. That is shocking for the 49ers, and it's great.
They can't run.
All right, so start McCaffrey. If Pearsall and Jennings play, do you like them?
No.
If one of them plays, they'll probably be close to 24 for me. If both of them play, they'll both probably be close to 30 for me.
Yeah, they'll be 25 to 36 for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, there's 4 teams on a bye, so
It's a terrible week for wide receiver.
It's a terrible year
Terrible season.
for wide receivers.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. And then Kendrick Bourne or Demarcus Robinson, who do you prefer?
No.
I think Robinson's the dart throw if you want to really take a chance on someone. But yes, the answer is no.
Jake Tongas. Desperation. Thy name is Tongas.
Who was that wide receiver on the 49ers? His last name was James. He had
Richie James.
Richie James.
Remember his Thursday? Was it him? He had that Thursday night game. Let me see. Let me get his game log here.
Good. Stop the show for this.
He had 9 catches for 184 yards on 13 targets. I think that was a Thursday night game for the 49ers. But okay, we're not expecting the Richie James game. And what about Jake Tongas? He's had 5 targets in 2 of the last 3 games. I don't know. He scored 7.1 or more points in 3 of 4 games.
It's true. Touchdown or bust tight end. But if those other guys are out, maybe he sees 6 or 7 targets.
And how do we feel about the DSTs?
Rams
are a must start.
What if they're all healthy? What if Purdy and Pearsall and Jennings play?
Rams.
Because it's a pretty good stream. It's a pretty good waiver wire DST week. I mean, you've got the Cardinals, you've got the Chiefs, you've got the Giants, you've got teams that could be good this week.
Yeah, if I'm trusting the Giants and the Rams are there, I'm trusting the Rams.
Yeah.
What about the Cardinals?
Cardinals number 1 for me.
I would start the Cardinals and the Chiefs over the Rams.
Okay.